Welcome. This video is going to briefly show you some of the things that you can do with Google Calendar. Now there are two ways to access the calendar. You can start by going to the Google Apps page for Belmar, and there's a link to that on your desktop at school, and sign in. And calendar will be one of your options here. Also, you can just go to google.com/calendar and sign in with your Belmar account. Now notice when you sign in, the default view is for a week. It's broken down by day and by time. Personally, I prefer the month view so I can see a lot more. There are a lot of things that you can do with this, especially if you wanted to use this as a public calendar for your classes to see what's going on. Now, by default, the calendar will be your name. You see, like there's right here it says there's the Jason Bedell calendar. So if you wanted to add an event on that calendar, it's very easy. You see today is the 29th. So if I wanted to remind the students that there is a project due tomorrow, I just click on that day, type it in, and hit create event. Now that's very simple. If I wanted to give it more information, just click and hit edit. I could give the description of it, what the directions of the essay are. If you wanted to color code all projects green or all tests red, you could do that. You could set it to send you reminders beforehand. If you wanted to be very specific, instead of saying all day, you could give it a specific time. So say if it's happening 8th period, so it starts at 1:19. And that's 8th period, so you could write here, essay due 8th period only. Okay. Or if you wanted to remind the students that maybe they have a special during a specific day, you could say gym that time. You could tell them where it is. There's a lot of ways you can use this with the students. Also, for example, say you have an assignment due every week. You could hit repeat, and you can tell which day and which time you want it to repeat and for how long. So I'm going to just delete this event for now. The other thing that's helpful is that you can have more than one calendar. So like I have my personal calendar, and then I'm going to click this library schedule so you can see that again. And then I have my schedule for the library, which there's a lot more on there right now. And you can see here there can be a lot of different things on one day. It's like these 4 periods are all scheduled. Now you can share this calendar. It's very easy. If you, for example, I shared my calendar with the office specifically, so they can check to see if somebody's in here before they schedule a meeting. So to share a calendar, you just click on it, hit share this calendar, and you would type in the email address of the person you want to share it with. Now if you're working with somebody on something, you can actually allow them to make changes to your calendar and add events too. Okay. Now the other thing that's fairly helpful is you can actually embed the calendar in your class website. Now that's pretty easy to do too. I'll show you an example of that on the Belmar Library site. So if I go to scheduling and calendar, you see I have a copy of our library calendar here. And you can go through, and that's public so all my kids can see it. So to do that, you would just go to calendar settings, where it says embed this calendar, you just copy this code. You don't have to know what that means, but you would just paste that code on the class website and it would bring your calendar up. So there are a lot of ways you can use this to help the students to keep track of different things. You can use it to send yourself reminders by email, by text message, things like that. So it's very simple to use, and it can be very helpful when you are once you get used to it and how it works.